Hi everyone, this is Tony, and little Joan has joined me, and we're here to talk about Bill Maher. The reason I'm here to talk about Bill Maher is Bill Maher, for those of you who don't know, was my old boss. I worked for Politically Incorrect, writing jokes for his opening monologue, and he's being attacked by Rashida Talib. Rashida Talib is one of the squad. It's one of the left congresswomen, the woke Democrat congresswoman. Not all Democrats are super woke, but the squad is certainly out there in their beliefs and some of the things they have said. And she has sort of weekly called for a boycott of Bill's show. And the outcry isn't like what she and some of the squad did say against Tucker Carlson. It's more of like a feeler to see if it can happen. Can we boycott Bill Maher? Maybe. That's kind of the way it got tweeted out. First off, you're a congresswoman. You should be doing congresswomen stuff. And the last thing you need to be doing is telling people what TV shows they should and should not be watching. Bill Maher runs a TV show. He's a comedian. End of story. It's none of your business. This is America. TV shows happen. Shut up. This is about as relevant as you coming out for or against the Big Bang Theory, for or against Survivor, or any of these shows. Just because Bill Maher is political, and you have political things to say, you go back to being a congresswoman. That's what you're elected to do. You should be doing stuff for your district, doing stuff for the country, not doing stuff about TV shows. And get off of Twitter, by the way. Will you please get off of Twitter? Everyone in Congress, everyone in media, just let's all get off Twitter. I mean, in my view, it's a terrible platform, and because it's been so censored and so, what do they call it? Not cultured. It's a word where they come in and they sort of prune all the people in there. They're trying to go for this woke culture on Twitter, and it's just, nobody's ever woke enough. That's the problem with it. And we write about this in Wokistan, a novel. Check it out at Amazon, $3.99, and free for Kindle Unlimited users. The thing about woke culture, PC culture, people who are woke, is you're never woke enough. Because part of the, cancel culture, it's another word for it. Part of that is you always have to go after the next racist, the next person who's not woke enough. Bill Maher is just the next person on the list. As the bar goes higher and higher, more and more people get on the list. Now at the top, you got the super woke Democrats, the super woke people on Twitter. They may or may not be in any of the marginalized protected groups that the woke people like to protect, but they're way up there, and they just keep raising the bar higher and higher. Everybody below the bar is a racist and fascist and alt-right, and they're just terrible. And soon, this is why even Barack Obama's being kind of called out for being not woke enough. And it's these rules, these ridiculous rules that have become so dogmatic, so prevalent amongst woke Democrats, you can't talk about anything. Because to even discuss the possibility that your wokeness may have gone too far means that, oh no, we haven't gone too far. You're the problem. So now Bill Maher's the problem. Bill Maher's been calling out woke Democrats recently, and rightly so. It's about time. It's long overdue. Bill Maher couldn't be more Democrat. He wished a recession on the country just to get rid of Trump. He hates Trump so much. So that's a guy who's totally in the Democratic camp, but here are the woke Democrats pushing him out of it. What do you think Bill Maher's going to say if you boycott his show? Is he going to keep saying vote for Hillary or vote for Biden or whoever ends up running against Trump? I think he might have second thoughts like, geez, you people, like how Democrat do I have to be on your side? And the answer is you'll never be Democrat enough. You'll never be woke enough. So the civil war in the Democratic Party continues, and it's going to probably destroy it or break it apart. Either that or you're going to see all the moderate Democrats get together and make a new party. I mean, it's heading in that direction, I think. The fact that, I know, doggy, I'm very blustery and very verbose, but you're a good dog to sit here and keep me company. They're just so angry. I mean, it's basically everybody on Twitter. If you just look at Twitter, it's a microcosm of what's happening in the Democratic Party. It's this group of people that have assumed, have assumed for so long that they're right on everything. And look, I was a Democrat back in the 80s. The Democrats had battles to fight. There was the battle of gay marriage. There was still some racism going on. And, those battles were fought and a lot of them were won. They're mostly all won now. But now, the Democrats, the left side of politics, kind of doesn't know what to do with themselves. And at the same time, they sort of abandoned working people. And now what do they have left? What do they have left to offer other than to say, well, anybody who voted for Donald Trump is obviously a white supremacist and hates black people? I mean, that's just a terrible thing to say. And I know people who are Democrats and they say these things. And I'm just shocked. Trump supporters are not all racist. Yes, I'm sure there's a handful of racists. There's not many racists left in the country, true, horrible racist guys who are proudly racist. Those guys are a very tiny minority in this country. Are there people with a few racist thoughts rattling around in their brain? Oh yeah, there's many more of them, but when you get right down to it, people are mostly just going about their day, trying to live their lives. And that's not good enough for the supremely woke. You got to live it the right way or they're going to criticize you. Because they've criticized and criticized and criticized for so long and we're so right, they kind of don't have any other tools in the tool chest. What else are you going to do? Democrats used to be anti-war. I would say be anti-war again. Be like Tulsi Gabbard. If you're going to help poor people, that's a noble cause. I don't, as a libertarian, I don't particularly agree with your solutions, but at least I agree poor people need help in some way. So you need to kind of go back and rethink your deal and think, well, maybe we made a few mistakes here. Well, the problem is the woke culture that's been driven by the internet and specifically Twitter won't allow that. You can't admit a mistake, because to admit a mistake is to basically admit you're the enemy. And then they pound and pound and pound you and hound you off Twitter. So nobody wants to do that, and quite frankly, I don't blame them who wants to be hounded and harassed, but it needs to happen. It needs to happen, and it's going to happen. Either it's going to break the Democratic Party, or they're finally going to have their moment of oh, gee, what are we doing here? Everybody makes mistakes, and everybody can be forgiven. But to go after Bill Maher, this is probably the beginning of the end for the Democratic Party as it is now, and these woke Democrats. These guys are either going to be driven out of the party, or the party's going to break, or the party's just going to die. And, Karl Rove's prediction, excuse me while I tap the screen here, Karl Rove's prediction about the Democrats becoming a marginalized party, not a real rival to the Republicans. This is a prediction he made back in the Bush era. It may actually come true at the rate they're going. So suck it up, Democrats. It's time to admit you lost 2016 to Trump. I know. I can't believe it either. It's time to reorganize your party. It's time to kick out the Clintons and say, what the hell do we stand for? My thing would be anti-war and working people. Go with those two. Build from there. All right. That's my thoughts for today. Good luck to Bill Maher. I hope you survive this latest purging of culture.